This poem is called The Other Eggs. I've chosen to record this one because it really is my first poem. I had written from the early part of the 90s and for about 15 years, until about 2005, 2006. I sat down with all of my notebooks at that point and went through them and read them, and it was all just, we all do it. We all go through it. It just took me longer, I guess. It was all of the angst and the depression, and you write all of that, the things that hurt, that make you feel bad. And some people are good at it, and they can make a living at that. Other people, like myself, it's just angsty crap. So I chose to destroy all of those notebooks. They no longer exist, and I do not regret the loss of them. They're wrapped in a couple of trash bags, duct taped, closed, and they're in a landfill somewhere. Several years later, about 2011, June of 2011, I was working, and a coworker wanted to write a poem for his girlfriend. He had a romantic poem, and he said, "Well, you like poetry, you enjoy poetry." I said, "I used to write." And he said, "How do you start a poem? What do you do?" I said, you can start with something like Elizabeth Barrett Browning's How Do I Love Thee, from the Sonnets from the Portuguese, some of the most beautiful things ever written. Or you can take something completely random, and the line I came up with was, "With the egg money, I bought a kite." And to this day, I don't know where that came from. He said, "Could you write a poem starting on that line?" Because it sounded like a very silly line to him. And I said, "I think I could." And I came back the next day, and I did have a poem, and it's this one. And I wrote for about 73 days straight. I wrote at least a poem a day for 73 days. And I felt very good about that, and I put it together, and that was my first collection, New Paladin song. I had them printed. And this is still one of my favorite things in that collection. I look at that collection now, and I see it as what it is. It's a springboard. It was me rediscovering how to speak, how to write in rhyme, out of rhyme, how to put a rhythm, a flow to words, and just the beauty of poetry, and enjoying it and reveling in it, and finding it to be the wonderful thing that it is. So that's the poem I'd like to share with you right now. This is The Other Eggs. With the egg money, I bought a kite, strong and flat, that would stand on its tail and howl at the moon. And with gut twine and hope I flew it at night, and the strength of its heart poked holes in the white soft pupil of the blind lunar eye. With a thrill and a cry I felt its tug, I knew not where, and it danced out of sight and let me believe that it was high in the wind and beyond, that it was the jewel of my wandering dreams, cast up from the far volcano of sleep, and we were awake in the night, my kite and I. With a broad knife and bold, I severed the twine that spread between the moon and my sighs, and as a bark high and wide my kite leapt, and it flew away on the tide of the wind, swinging not on gut twine, but on a rope of random stars. And soft down we fell in the dark, my kite and me. With the dawn came the cock and the crow, and the hen, and the egg and the clutch, and I stole the hen's new eggs, and I sold them. And with the other egg money, I bought a kite. Thank you. That's all.